We're at the point in Destiny's yearly cycle that many players begin preparing for the next expansion. Vault cleaning, bounty hoarding, and farming for those final unobtained god rolls. But there's a certain weapon I think some people might be overlooking. A couple weeks ago, Bungie held a preview event for press and content creators to play Edge of Fate early. During the event, we got a good look at the next seasonal artifact, as well as a lot of the perks that will be available to us, supposedly until Renegades launches 6 months later. Now, obviously, some of these perks are subject to change before the expansion officially launches to the public, but after watching Mr. Rufflewaffle's video covering the perks, I think there's potential for Critical Anomaly to hold a place in your boss DPS loadouts next season. For those unaware, Critical Anomaly is a special stasis aggressive frame sniper from the Salvation's Edge raid. It has a great selection of DPS perks including Chill Clip, Rewind Rounds, and Reconstruction in the third column, and Firing Line, Bait and Switch, Triple Tap, and Chaos Reshaped in the fourth. These perks might not sound as exciting as Praedyth's Revenge, which can roll with Kinetic Tremors and Bait and Switch, but the synergy with the next seasonal artifact is where Critical Anomaly shines. Starting in the second column, One with Frost gives all stasis weapons increased reload speed and stability when Frost Armor is active. We can set that up with Fever and Chill in the third column, which grants Frost Armor when landing rapid precision hits with a stasis weapon. We also have Frost Renewal, which activates when taking critical damage with Frost Armor. This will detonate a freezing burst, which also applies another stack of Frost Armor to you and nearby allies, allowing you all to keep One with Frost going even longer. That also nicely ties into Elemental Benevolence, which gives class ability energy when applying any elemental buff to allies, such as Frost Armor. To improve survivability even further, Shoulder to Shoulder in the fourth column will grant damage resistance when dealing sustained precision damage while allies are nearby. And in the final column, Shield Crush improves melee recharge and damage when you have Woven Mail, Frost Armor, or Avoid Overshield, while Radiant or Amplified will improve grenade recharge and damage. Lastly, Radiant Shrapnel causes enemies to release solar projectiles when dealing sustained damage while radiant, which explode on impact, damaging and scorching enemies. While the exact values for a lot of these perks and buffs are currently unknown, I'm sure a lot of you can already see how these perks favor a weapon like Critical Anomaly, especially in a DPS scenario where the raid boss fights back like the Witness. So, how does Critical Anomaly actually compare to something like Praedyth's Revenge? To test this, I did some damage testing with both weapons during a single Templar teleport phase. For both weapons, I used an auto rifle and a rocket to activate Bait and Switch, and my teammates' Well of Radiance to buff both. Critical Anomaly dealt around 515,000 damage with Chill Clip and Bait and Switch. Though I'd consider changing Chill Clip for Rewind Rounds, as too many sources of freeze can be unreliable for damage. However, with Kinetic Tremors and Bait and Switch, Praedyth's Revenge dealt around 663,000 damage. This sounds like a big difference, but it's worth noting that things got a bit more interesting when we threw Darcy into the mix. You see, the majority of Praedyth's sustained damage comes from Kinetic Tremors, which is dealing non-critical damage. But after Darcy's latest buff in Heresy, it's able to buff the critical damage of nearby non-exotic snipers. So when testing with a teammate running Darcy, Critical Anomaly was dealing around 658,000 damage, while Praedyth's dealt around 698,000. These values aren't a perfect representation for how these weapons both perform in all DPS scenarios, especially longer phases where Darcy will have more time to sustain its damage stacks, but it should give you some idea at how these two weapons compare. Critical Anomaly might not be beating Praedyth's Revenge for sustained DPS, but I still think it's worth a place in your vault for now. Bungie hasn't announced the weapon balancing patch notes that are coming with Edge of Fate, so there's some potential for the aggressive frame archetype to see some form of buff. And even outside of that, the connection that Critical Anomaly has with the seasonal artifact is undeniable, providing some fantastic boosts to survivability and synergy with both stasis and prismatic builds. So next time you're running Salvation's Edge or cleaning your vault, give this sniper a second thought, because you never know when it might surprise you. Thank you all for watching. Before I go on this video, I just want to give a big thank you to a lot of my friends that helped me record the damage testing here, especially to Dodo, who went and got some footage for the video by himself. So yeah, big thank you there. Like I said, I don't think Critical Anomaly is going to be the best sniper next season, but it's definitely going to have some more utility-focused roles rather than pure DPS, and I think that makes it really interesting, but we'll have to see how it performs in the new raid when that does come out, or even if it will have a place on day one. So yeah, if you've got the pattern already, that's great, just make sure you keep it leveled up so that you can change it to the roles you need, and if you still don't have it, I recommend running some Salvation's Edge. I do think this weapon is going to be worth at least considering for the future. But I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.